Monk mode fails because people do it emotionally. If you want extreme progress without burnout, listen carefully. You've probably tried monk mode before. Maybe you've seen someone online talk about disappearing for 30 days to focus completely on their goals. No social media, no going out, no distractions, just pure, uninterrupted work. It sounds perfect, so you decide to try it. Day 1, you delete Instagram. You cancel plans, you're all in, you feel motivated. Day 2 to 3, you're crushing it, working 12 hours a day. This is it, this is the breakthrough. Day 5, you're starting to feel isolated, but you push through. Day 7, you're exhausted, lonely, second-guessing everything. Day 10, you crack. You reinstall the apps, you binge on everything you cut out, you feel like you failed, and you're right back where you started. Except now, you also feel like a failure. This happens to almost everyone who tries monk mode. And it's not because you lack discipline, it's because you did it emotionally instead of strategically. I'm Mr. Reed, and this is the Standard Project. In the next 18 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact blueprint that makes monk mode actually work. Extreme progress without the burnout. Follow me. Most people isolate, but never structure. Here's what typical monk mode looks like. Someone wakes up one day feeling motivated. They think, I need to get serious, I need to lock in. So they make a dramatic decision. I'm deleting everything, no social media, no friends, no fun. I'm going full monk mode for as long as it takes. Notice what's missing. No defined end date, no specific rules, no clear output goals, no exit strategy. They just isolate and hope it works. This is emotional monk mode, and it always fails. Research from the University of Chicago shows that prolonged social isolation triggers stress responses in the brain. Cortisol levels increase. Cognitive performance decreases. Mood destabilizes. Isolation without structure doesn't create focus. It creates dysfunction. Here's what happens in emotional monk mode. Week 1, novelty carries you. You feel like a warrior. Productivity is high. Week 2, the novelty fades. You start feeling lonely, but you push through because discipline. Week 3, you're miserable. You miss people. You miss normal life. But quitting feels like failure, so you keep grinding. Week 4, you either burn out completely or you start making exceptions. Just 1 hour of social media won't hurt. Either way, the structure collapses. You emerge from monk mode exhausted, isolated, and often with less progress than you hoped for. Dr. Roy Baumeister's research on decision fatigue shows why indefinite monk mode fails. Every day you wake up and decide, should I stay in monk mode today or quit? That decision drains willpower, and eventually, willpower runs out. Emotional monk mode is built on willpower. Strategic monk mode is built on structure. And structure makes all the difference. Real monk mode has 3 non-negotiable rules. 1. Defined start/end. 2. Clear rules. 3. Output-based metrics. These 3 rules turn monk mode from an emotional decision into a strategic system. Let me break down each one and show you exactly how to implement them. Rule 1. Defined start/end. 30 days maximum. 14 days ideal. Not indefinite. Not until I feel like stopping. Not as long as it takes. You set a specific date when you start. You set a specific date when you end. Example, I'm entering monk mode on Monday, January 6th. I'm exiting on Sunday, January 19th. 14 days. No exceptions. Why this works? First, it creates urgency without unsustainability. When you know you only have 14 days, you don't waste time. Every day counts. But you also know it's not forever. You can endure almost anything for 14 days. Research from Wharton shows that temporal landmarks, defined start and end dates, significantly increase goal completion rates. When people commit to, I'll do this for 2 weeks starting Monday, they're 3 times more likely to follow through than, I'll do this until I achieve the goal. Because defined endpoints reduce decision fatigue and create psychological closure. Second, it prevents the isolation trap. When monk mode is indefinite, you start questioning, how long am I supposed to do this? You feel guilty for wanting normal life back. You feel weak for missing social connection. But when it's 14 days, I just need to make it to Sunday, then I'm out. This mental clarity is everything. Third, it allows for iteration. You can do multiple monk mode cycles throughout the year. 14 days on, 30 days normal life. Another 14 days on, 30 days normal. 4 cycles per year equals 56 days of extreme focus without burning your life down. Compare this to one 90-day emotional monk mode that leaves you isolated and burned out. The rule? 14 to 30 days. No longer. 14 days is ideal for most people. Enough time to make real progress, short enough to sustain intensity. 30 days is the absolute maximum. Beyond that, diminishing returns kick in and isolation damage accumulates. Rule 2. Clear rules. Write down exactly what you're cutting. Be specific. Emotional monk mode. I'm cutting out all distractions. Strategic monk mode. Specific, written rules. Example rules. No social media apps on phone. Delete Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. No Netflix, YouTube, or streaming entertainment. No alcohol, no dating apps. Maximum 1 social event per week. Pre-scheduled. No random hangouts or spontaneous plans. Phone on airplane mode from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily notice. These are specific and measurable. You can't cheat. You either followed the rules or you didn't. Dr. Peter Gollwitzer's research on implementation intentions shows that specific rules increase adherence by 2 to 3 times compared to vague intentions. I'll avoid distractions is vague. Your brain will find loopholes. I will not open Instagram for 14 days is specific. No room for negotiation. But here's the critical part. Don't cut everything. People make monk mode too extreme. They think they need to become a hermit. I'll cut all social contact. I'll work 18 hours a day. I'll eat nothing but chicken and rice. This is how you burn out. Strategic monk mode. Cut the noise, keep the signal. What to cut? Time-wasting distractions. Social media, mindless entertainment. Energy-draining social obligations. Parties, random hangouts. Numbing behaviors. Alcohol, excessive eating out. Attention leaks. News, gossip, drama. What to keep? Deep relationships. 1 dinner with close friends per week is fine. Physical health, training, sleep, nutrition, stay non-negotiable. Mental health. 1 social event per week prevents total isolation. Family time, especially if you have kids or key relationships. The goal isn't to destroy your life. It's to remove what drains you and protect what matters. Write your rules. Make them specific. Commit to them completely. Rule 3. Output-based metrics. Monk mode isn't about suffering. It's about output. This is the most important rule, and it's the one most people miss. They think monk mode is about discipline and sacrifice. But that's not the point. The point is to produce something you couldn't produce under normal circumstances. You need to define, what am I building during these 14 days? Example output-based goals. Launch the MVP of my product. Complete the first 10 modules of this course. Write 30,000 words of my book. Complete 28 training sessions, 14 days times 2 sessions. Film and edit 10 YouTube videos. Build the entire backend of my app. Notice, these are concrete deliverables. You can measure them. You can track progress daily. You can know if you're winning or losing. Dr. Edwin Locke's research shows that specific measurable goals lead to higher performance than vague goals. Work hard is vague. Write 2,000 words per day for 14 days equals 28,000 words total is specific. You know exactly what you need to do. No ambiguity. No wondering if you're doing enough. Critical insight. If you hit the goal early, you exit early. Let's say your goal is to launch your product. You planned 14 days of monk mode, but on day 10, you launch. The product is live. You exit monk mode. You don't keep going just to prove you can. This is crucial because it reinforces that monk mode is about output, not suffering. You're not trying to prove how disciplined you are. You're trying to produce something specific. Once it's done, you're done. This keeps monk mode healthy. It prevents it from becoming an ego trip or an identity. The 3 rules together. 1. Define start/end to 14 days, January 6th to 19th. 2. Clear rules. 2. No social media, no streaming, no alcohol, max 1 social event per week. 3. Output-based metrics. Launch MVP by day 14 or exit early if done sooner. This is strategic monk mode. It's not emotional. It's not indefinite. It's not suffering for the sake of suffering. It's a focused sprint with a clear goal, clear boundaries, and a clear exit. Now let me give you the exact implementation guide so you can execute this perfectly. How long monk mode should last 14 days is the sweet spot. Here's why. Too short, 7 days or less. Not enough time to build real momentum. You're still in the novelty phase. Can't complete substantial projects. Too long, 45+ days. Isolation damage accumulates. Relationships suffer. Burnout becomes likely. Social reintegration becomes harder. Research from University College London shows that it takes an average of 66 days to form a habit. But monk mode isn't about forming habits. It's about intense production sprints. 14 days gives you days 1 to 3, adjustment period, fighting resistance. Days 4 to 10, peak productivity, in the zone. Days 11 to 14, finishing strong, avoiding burnout. Recommended durations based on goals. Launch an MVP or complete a course, 14 days. Write a book or build complex software, 21 to 30 days. Quick reset or intensive learning sprint, 7 days. Major life transition or career pivot, 30 days maximum, never exceed 30 days. If your project needs more time, do multiple cycles with breaks between. Example, 30 days on, 14 days normal life, 30 days on again. This prevents the psychological damage of extended isolation while still allowing for deep work. What to cut versus keep. This is where most people get it wrong. They cut everything and make themselves miserable. The rule, cut the noise, keep the necessities. Always cut. 1. Social media consumption, delete the apps. Not just log out, delete. If you need them for work, use browser versions with time limits. 2. Entertainment consumption. No Netflix, no YouTube binges, no mindless scrolling. Exception. You can watch one movie on your designated rest day. 3. Alcohol and recreational substances. These destroy sleep quality and cognitive performance. 4. Random social commitments. No spontaneous hangouts. No let's grab drinks. No parties. 5. Dating apps and casual dating. This drains mental energy. Pause it for the duration. 6. News and current events. The world will still be there in 14 days. You don't need to know everything happening. Always keep. 1. Physical training. This is non-negotiable. Your body needs movement. Your brain needs the endorphins. Maintain your training schedule. If anything, this is when you level up physically. 2. Sleep. Don't sacrifice sleep to work more. That's how you crash. 7 to 8 hours minimum. Protect it ruthlessly. 3. Nutrition. Eat well. Meal prep if needed. Don't skip meals to work longer. Your brain needs fuel to perform. 4. 1 social connection per week. 1 dinner with a close friend. 1 call with family. 1 meaningful interaction. This prevents total isolation and keeps you human. 5. Recovery practices. Walks, stretching, meditation, journaling. Whatever keeps you balanced. Dr. Julianne Holt-Lundstad's research shows that complete social isolation has health effects equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes per day. You need some social contact. 1 meaningful interaction per week is the minimum. Context dependent. Decide based on your situation. Romantic relationship. If you're in a committed relationship, don't ghost your partner. Include them in the plan. Maybe 1 quality evening together per week. Kids. Obviously, you can't abandon your children. Structure monk mode around your parenting responsibilities. Work obligations. If you have a job, you can't just disappear. Do monk mode in your non-work hours. The key. Be selective, not extreme. How to exit without regression. This is critical. Most people fail at the exit. They complete 14 days of monk mode. They accomplish their goal. They feel amazing. Then day 15 hits and they reinstall all the apps immediately, binge on everything they cut out, go right back to old patterns. Within a week, it's like monk mode never happened. The permanent upgrades. After monk mode, keep at least 3 improvements. 1 thing you cut that stays cut. Example, daily news consumption. 1 boundary you enforce that stays enforced. Example, no phone before 9 a.m. One productivity practice you built that becomes permanent. Example, 2-hour deep work block every morning. This way, monk mode isn't just a sprint. It's an upgrade to your baseline. Let me leave you with this. Focused men don't escape life. They sharpen themselves. There are 2 ways to do isolation. The wrong way, escape. The right way, sharpen. Escape looks like, I'm overwhelmed by life. I need to run away from everything. I'll delete everything and hide. This is avoidance. This is fear. This is trying to opt out of reality. People who escape into monk mode are running from their problems. They're avoiding difficult relationships they need to address, responsibilities they don't want to face, emotions they don't know how to process, a life they're unhappy with but don't know how to fix. So they retreat. They isolate. They call it monk mode, but it's just avoidance with a productivity label. And it doesn't work. Because when monk mode ends, the problems are still there. They come back and realize nothing fundamentally changed. They built something during monk mode, sure, but they're still the same person with the same problems. Sharpening looks like, I have a specific goal I want to accomplish. To do it well, I need intense focus. I'm going to temporarily remove distractions so I can operate at my peak. This isn't escape. This is strategic. Think of a samurai sharpening his sword. He's not running from battle. He's preparing for it. He retreats temporarily to sharpen his blade, then he returns stronger. That's what strategic monk mode is. You're not escaping life. You're preparing to dominate it. The difference is intent. Escape monk mode. Indefinite duration until I feel better. No clear goal, just need to get away. Avoids returning. I don't want to go back. Leaves them weaker, isolated, disconnected. Sharpening monk mode. Defined duration, 14 to 30 days. Clear objective, launch product, finish book. Plans to return stronger. I'm coming back with this completed. Leaves them upgraded, more capable, more focused. Research from the University of Rochester distinguishes between isolation and solitude. Isolation equals withdrawal from social contact due to fear or avoidance. Negative mental health effects. Solitude equals intentional alone time for reflection and growth. Positive mental health effects. Monk mode should be solitude, not isolation. When you do it right, you enter monk mode with a plan. You know what you're building. You work intensely for 14 days. You emerge with a completed project, proof that you can execute under pressure. Upgraded focus capacity. New level of self-trust. You didn't escape. You sharpened. And now you're ready to apply that sharpness to everything else in your life. That's the difference between boys who hide and men who sharpen. Now, you understand how to do monk mode correctly. 14 to 30 days. Clear rules. Output-based metrics. You know what to cut, what to keep, and how to exit without regression. But there's a problem that shows up around day 7. Your discipline starts cracking. Days 1 to 5 are easy. Novelty carries you. You're motivated. You're excited. Day 6 to 7, reality hits. The novelty is gone. The work is hard. You're tired. You start thinking, maybe I can check Instagram just once. What's the harm? Maybe I can take tonight off and go out with friends. Maybe I'm being too extreme. I should relax the rules a little. This is the discipline test. Monk mode only works if you can maintain the rules when it gets hard, not just when you feel motivated, when you're tired, when you're lonely, when every part of you wants to quit. That requires a level of discipline most people don't have. Because discipline isn't about the first 3 days. Those are easy. Discipline is about day 7, day 10, day 13, when the grind is real and the finish line still feels far away. Most people's discipline breaks around day 7. They make one exception, then another, then the whole system collapses, and they end up with a failed monk mode cycle instead of a successful one. The difference between success and failure isn't the plan, it's the discipline to execute the plan when it's hard. If you want discipline strong enough to survive monk mode, watch next. Because in the next video I'm going to show you the exact system for building unshakable discipline. Discipline that doesn't rely on motivation. Discipline that works on day 1 and day 30. Discipline that holds even when you're tired, you're lonely, you want to quit. Every part of you is screaming to break the rules. The monk mode blueprint is the strategy. But discipline is the execution. And without rock-solid discipline, the best strategy in the world won't help you. Watch the next video now. One standard, greatness. One project, you.